All right. You know what time it is. Neil Ratner, Rock Doc here with a story. Okay, so this past week, Robert Plant turned 71. 71. Oof. I just turned 70, so. Yeah, at any rate. And today I thought I would tell you a few things about Robert that you might not know. But as usual, a little background first. So early on, Plant developed a passion for the blues, listening to artists like Muddy Waters and Robert Johnson. And he spent his teens singing the blues in folk and rock clubs up in the English Midlands. Now, by age 18, he'd already cut 3 singles for CBS in Britain, mostly Jack Jones cabaret pop, dosed with a little cheap hippie kitsch thrown in. But he was back in the Midlands clubs, this time singing White Rabbit and Moby Grape's Omaha, when none other than Jimmy Page approached him. So it was 1968, and Jimmy Page was looking for a lead singer for his new band. You know, the original Yardbirds had broken up. This was going to be the new Yardbirds, and Page had already been turned down by his first choice singer Terry Reid. Now, Reid had already committed to go on the road as opening act for 2 tours with the Rolling Stones and 1 with the Cream. So Reid suggested to Page that if he were compensated for the gig fees he'd miss out on, and if Page would call Keith Richards to explain why he had to pull out of the U.S. tours, maybe then it could happen. But of course, that wasn't going to happen. Reid went on those tours, but he did suggest somebody to Page. Reid suggested this singer he knew of called Robert Plant. So Page went to see Plant, and according to Jimmy, when I auditioned him and heard him sing, I immediately thought there must be something wrong with him personally wise, or that he had to be impossible to work with, because I just could not understand why, after he told me he'd been singing for a few years already, he hadn't become a big name yet. So I had him down to my place for a little while, just to sort of check him out, and we got along great, no problems. Now, Plant had been in a band called the Band of Joy with drummer John Bonham, and suggested Bonham to Jimmy, who agreed to take him into his new band as well. Chris Dreja from the old Yardbirds was meant to be the bass player, but decided to give up music in favor of photography, and in fact, he photographed the new band for the back cover of their debut album. Page and John Paul Jones had known each other as session musicians, and at the suggestion of John Paul Jones's wife, he inquired about the position as bass guitarist, and he joined as the final member of the new group Led Zeppelin. Now, we all know Led Zeppelin. I'm not going to talk about Led Zeppelin. That'll be for another time. After Led Zeppelin disbanded, though, in December 1980, following the death of Bonzo, Plant actually briefly considered abandoning music. He wanted to pursue his other goal of becoming a teacher in the Rudolf Steiner education system, and he went as far as being accepted for teacher training. But he nevertheless embarked on a successful solo career, and you'll never guess who helped and encouraged him. It was none other than Genesis drummer and his old friend Phil Collins, who convinced Robert that he couldn't quit music. He had to continue, and of course he did. Now, Plant occasionally collaborated with his old friend Jimmy Page on various projects, including the all-star group with Page and Jeff Beck in '84 called the Honey Drippers. I'm sure we all remember that. And since then, Robert has continued with solo albums in different genres and diverse collaborations, and he was recently asked if there's a common thread in all of his projects. And this is what he said. Well, there's an essence, I think, that moves through everything that I'm involved with, and that is stimulation. If you're going to be a mug all your life, asking people to tune into your inner sanctum of creative whatever, it's not always going to be consistent work or consistent quality even. But That's important. It's important that there should always be a limber approach to what we do. And when we go out and twist and reshape everything, and that was prevalent right away for Led Zeppelin, and it remains that way for me, keeps everything interesting for me as well as the audience. Whether it's working with T-Bone or Buddy and Patty or the Afro-Celt system or going to Northern Valley to play with the sensational Space Shifters. And you go, Robert, hopefully for a long time to come. All right, Robert Plant. So that's my story for today. I hope you enjoy it. Catch me later, 3 o'clock this afternoon on WDST Radio Woodstock. You can get it on iHeartRadio. And I got a cool story for you there, too. I'm on Saturdays, Sundays, 3 o'clock, iHeartRadio, WDST 100.1. Of course, you can still buy my book off my website, and I will autograph it or get the audiobook off of Amazon. And I'm going to have something new coming up in the next couple of months. We are working now on the Rock Doc podcast. Details to follow. All right, that's it. Looks like fall has come up here. The nights are cool, days not too warm. Gonna go out and do some exercise. Everybody get out there, enjoy the rest of the weekend. And join me for my posts and my live videos in WDST, and I'll see you all real soon. Okay, hang in there and keep on rocking. Bye.